It looked like Nafisa Collier is in serious hot water after lying on Caitlin Clark on national television. Well, I'm here to tell you, Nafisa Collier just told on herself. I mean, she exposed herself as a liar, bro. I mean, she just let the cat out the bag.
Caitlin Clark didn't say a word, but somehow she just humiliated Nafisa Collier in front of the entire world. And the cameras caught everything.
So currently there's a clip going viral right now regarding Nafisa Collier. I have yet to watch it. We're going to watch it together. Now, it's in regards to the fans. And if this is scary, you got to understand this is not just a basketball player. Unrivaled is one season in. This is one of the owners. And it's just like, yo, you need every damn fan to watch, to go there to support, period. You should not be saying nothing about fans unless it's in a positive light. I don't care if you hate fans. You better lie. You better lie. You do not need to be saying nothing bad about the fans.
If you're riding with Caitlin Clark and sick of all the veteran whining, drop Team Caitlin in the comments right now. Let's see how many of you are done with this fake victim act. Because this wasn't just one bad quote. Nafisa exposed everything wrong with the old WNBA mindset.
For too long, have they been able to hide in their little bubble, sit by themselves in their own little safe space, shielded from true sports conversation, true sports fandom, that now that the fandom, the conversation has finally arrived, they are so taken aback, they are calling it toxicity. Fans cheer, fans boo, and that's toxicity.
And Caitlin, she didn't even need to respond. The fans did that for her. But this wasn't just a one-time embarrassment. It was a public unraveling. A top WNBA star exposed herself on live air, and fans instantly turned against her. What exactly did she say that triggered a full-blown backlash? And why does Caitlin Clark come out looking like the winner? Nafisa Collier sat down with Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe on their podcast. What was supposed to be a reflective discussion turned into a moment that lit the internet on fire. Collier, without naming names, called today's WNBA fan base toxic, complaining about hatred, polarization, and negativity in the league.
You know what?
Just
Sorry, not to interrupt you. You know what is kind of surprising and disappointing, honestly? It is getting so toxic, I feel like, in our league with a lot of the fans going back and forth. Like, basketball and sports are supposed to be so unifying, and it is so toxic. Like, every game, just, it's like hatred out there towards other players, and not just, you know, like Angel and Caitlin. Like, that they are the OGs where people will get so like polarizing with, but it's with everyone, and people are just so nasty on there. And it's like, we're playing a game. We are playing a game, and you are saying hateful things about players. Like, I don't know. That has been like really surprising. I feel like we're trending in a really bad spot with that.
But viewers weren't buying it. Why? Because just days earlier, these same toxic fans were packing arenas and setting WNBA ratings records because of one person, Caitlin Clark. While Collier aired grievances, Caitlin Clark was busy packing stadiums, breaking attendance records, and selling out jerseys across the country. The Indiana Fever's games are now must-see events, not just in Indiana, but in every single city they visit. In contrast, Collier's Minnesota Lynx sit near the bottom in attendance despite their winning record. A team that plays in a 19,000-seat arena barely draws 9,000 fans a night, and that's with Collier as the face. So when she complained about fan hatred, fans fired back with numbers, receipts, and frustration. This wasn't toxicity. It was attention. It was passion. It was growth.
Fans critique players, fans criticize how players play, and that's considered toxicity. And Nafisa Collier, on her most recent appearance on a podcast with Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe, she reaffirms the belief that many newcomers to this league has had, that these players are just not ready for the spotlight to be shined on them.
Collier may have expected support for her comments. Instead, she was met with criticism, even from former and current players. The message was simple. You asked for fans. Now you've got them. Why are you complaining? Former players like Courtney Williams explained that booing isn't hate, it's respect.
And honestly, first of all, Subbuzz, I know we're getting that. Courtney has the thickest skin of anyone I've ever met. She truly does not care what people think about her.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's a skill. That's a skill I wish I had. Yeah.
And it's not an act. She just really doesn't care.
NBA stars like LeBron James and Kyrie Irving get booed every night. So do MLB and NFL legends, but they never called it toxic. The contrast became clear. Caitlin Clark embraces the noise. She plays through it. She feeds off it. Collier, she's collapsing under it.
First and foremost, you want to talk about toxic? Because fans going back and forth, that's just words. That's just online. What about y'all? We watched y'all beat the shit out of a girl for a season and a half to the point that she's not even playing right now. And she's the most important person in your league. We watched y'all eye gouge. We watched y'all choke slam Angel Reese. We watched y'all pull Angel Reese's hair. Like, what are we talking about? Y'all are down there damn near playing football with each other. Y'all are drop kicking people, elbow smashing people, clotheslining people. What are we talking about? People have lost their teeth messing around with this basketball league. I know you are not going to sit here and say it's the fans' fault. Hell, your own coach is toxic. Your coach, Nafisa, are you serious?
In one podcast clip, Collier confirmed what fans feared, that some WNBA stars want the perks of fame without the pressure. Her words didn't just land poorly. They revealed a divide in the league between the old guard clinging to the past.
In the MLB, in the NFL, in the NBA, a player returns, they get booed, we move on. A player demands a trade, gets traded, comes back, gets booed, and we move on. But here in the WNBA, this is a new concept. This is a foreign idea. Stop feeding into the nonsense like professionals in the other sports do. But the ladies within the WNBA are so bought into drama, they're so invested into the gossip around this league, they can't help themselves. So they see it all day, every day. They'll take two fans interacting in typical fan manners and say, oh my gosh, this is so toxic over here.
And a new wave, led by Caitlin Clark, pulling the league into the spotlight. Collier's comments were supposed to unify the league. Instead, they drew a sharp line in the sand. And that line exposed a brutal truth. This league doesn't revolve around her anymore. Caitlin didn't clap back. She didn't respond in interviews. She didn't tweet. She just played. She dropped 30-point games. She smiled through boos. She sold out every arena she stepped in. And most importantly, she never blamed the fans. That's why fans love her. That's why the media covers her. That's why her jersey sells out and her face is everywhere. And that's why Nafisa Collier, without realizing it, handed Caitlin Clark the crown on live air. If you're still watching, comment 100% for Caitlin to show you ride with the new face of the WNBA. Because while others are whining in interviews, Caitlin Clark is quietly taking over the entire league.
Well, my goodness gracious indeed. Sophie Cunningham has broken the internet in multiple ways over the last day.
I did not think it was gonna be this hyped. I did not think it was gonna be this hyped and have this much of a change. And like, I'm saying this, I always have to say it. I want to shout out Sophie Cunningham right now.
The WNBA fined Sophie Cunningham, and she responded by walking into a game wearing a shirt so savage it humiliated the entire league.
Sophie came sauntering into the Chicago Sky game wearing a shirt that went viral. Well, here we are. She's now released a little video and some multiple images, and today she put out this statement. I have the meats at Arby's.
This wasn't a tantrum. It was a calculated move that flipped a $500 fine into viral fame.
And Sophie Cunningham gets fined $500, $500 by Kathy Angle Braindead and the WNBA for speaking out against officiating on TikTok.
Massive brand deals and the most iconic clapback in league history. So how did one t-shirt turn Sophie into the WNBA's biggest PR nightmare and marketing genius? Let's break it all down.
But somebody who has benefited Somebody who has benefited immensely from Caitlin Clark and being on the Fever is Sophie Cunningham, who continues to see her star rise. You know, Sophie walks in with a shirt, an Arby's shirt the other day, and that goes viral. Her moment throwing JC Sheldon to the floor goes viral. Now she's got pro wrestling promoters reaching out to her to try and line up a deal. It just goes to show you Sophie's spunk, her energy, her willingness to stand up for Caitlin Clark, and her overall ability on the court for such a high-profile team has risen her star power.
Sophie Cunningham has never been afraid to speak her mind. And when bad officiating in the WNBA got out of hand, she said what every fan was already thinking. After getting elbowed in the head by Olivia Nelson-Ododa with no foul call,
Clark with that possession.
after getting grabbed by the neck by a Sparks player with, again, no whistle, Sophie had enough. So she posted a TikTok. In it, she roasted the WNBA refs, calling them slow, stupid, and useless.
Stupid. Or is it slow?
And it went viral. Over 1.3 million views in a matter of hours. Fans were loving it. Because this wasn't just Sophie talking, it was Sophie speaking for them.
What's her TikTok on now? This has been 3 hours. So in 3 hours, she's getting 7,000 Instagram followers. Sophie Cunningham. Oh my God. She's now at 850,000 followers. It's been 3 hours. She's going to gain she's going to be on 1 million followers. She was on 307,000 followers. She's now at the 7.9 million likes on TikTok. Her last TikTok that she posted got, I don't know, her pinned one, 6.7 million views. Sophie Cunningham is likely going to gain 600,000 to 700,000 TikTok followers.
For every player sick of getting fouled without protection. For every fan tired of watching the league ignore its own problems. But what did the WNBA do in response? They fined her $500.
Man, I thought we could have a little fun right before the game starts. We have Sophie Cunningham getting fined $500, man, for making this slick TikTok about the refs. Yo, it is hilarious. We are about to get all the way into it, man.
And that's when Sophie made her power move. Instead of backing down, Sophie showed up to the next game, a nationally televised matchup between the Fever and the Sky, wearing a shirt that said, "Hot girls eat Arby's." It was pink, it was loud, and it was completely savage.
Right here, and I have no idea what she got paid for this, but hot girls eat Arby's right here. I decided to turn that down. I don't know if that's a song that's going to get copyrighted or not. But she put this out, and this entire thing has broken the internet.
But this wasn't random. This was planned. Months earlier, Sophie had posted a video reviewing Arby's food and loved it. That was the setup. This was the punchline, because when Sophie rocked that shirt on Barbie night, the internet exploded. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all over it. The moment instantly became iconic. Arby's corporate account called her an unapologetic queen.
Officials Arby's social media site answered her and said, "Hell yeah, you do." Oh, man. That's hilarious. That the official Arby's site social media account would say, "Hell yeah, you do."
Her teammate Lexi Hull chimed in, "She has the meats." Fans were reposting the image like it was a rallying cry. That shirt wasn't just an outfit, it was a message. I don't care about your fine, I care about being real. Now here's where it gets crazy. That $500 fine. It became the best investment Sophie ever made.
So I feel like it was just a buildup of things. There was a lot of stuff. Tensions were high. That was the moment for Sophie to commit a hard foul, and she did that. And most of the world agreed with her. Most of the world was fed up with everything that was going on the court. They're fed up with the refs. They're fed up with the physicality getting to a point where players can get injured. And a lot of people were like, you know what? Finally, there's an enforcer on the court. People were calling her a hero, and her jersey completely sold out overnight. And this was something that I predicted.
After her TikTok roasting the refs, she gained over 1 million followers. After the Arby's shirt went viral, she gained another 700,000 in just 3 days. Her TikTok went from 300,000 to over 1.7 million followers almost overnight. Jersey sales through the roof. Brand deals flooding in. She didn't just make back that $500. She turned it into millions in exposure, influence, and income. All because she refused to stay quiet. All because she dared to be herself. Sophie didn't get punished. She got paid. It didn't stop there. Sophie's savage stunt caught the attention of Jeannie Buss, owner of the Los Angeles Lakers and founder of Women of Wrestling.
Ever heard of somebody named Jeannie Buss? You may be like, who? The Lakers owner? Co-owner? Yeah, that Jeannie Buss. She has offered Sophie Cunningham a spot with WOW. You may be like, what's WOW? Women of Wrestling. Right here.
At a Comic-Con panel, they called Sophie the enforcer of Caitlin Clark, someone who protects the game's biggest star and brings heat with every move. They said, we'd love to have Sophie Cunningham in WOW.
By the way, they were all at Comic-Con this last weekend, right here. But the owners of WOW, Women of Wrestling, have offered Sophie Cunningham a position. After this just came out over the last couple of days, but it stems back from the incident we were talking about with the Connecticut Sun. Indiana Fever forward Sophie Cunningham drew notoriety when she defended her superstar teammate Caitlin Clark with a flagrant foul and subsequent skirmish against the Connecticut Sun in June. This prompted Women of Wrestling founder and co-owner David McLean speaking at the panel at the San Diego Comic-Con on Friday to posit that Cunningham would be a fit for wrestling. It comes after Cunningham issued a savage response to a WNBA fine on a TikTok video.
Think about that. One shirt got her an invite into pro wrestling, not as a gimmick, but as a real crossover personality. She's not just a WNBA role player anymore, she's an entertainment brand. All because the league tried to shut her up with a $500 fine. Meanwhile, what did the WNBA get out of all this? Nothing but bad press, angry fans, and a big fat reminder that they still don't get it. Instead of fixing officiating, they keep punishing players for calling it out. Instead of embracing personality, they try to silence it. And every time they find Sophie Cunningham, she turns it into fuel, into fire, into money. This isn't a player problem, it's a leadership problem. Fans are starting to say it out loud. Let Sophie speak. Fix the refs, not the players. The W can't afford another PR disaster like this. And Sophie, she's making it rain. She said it herself. Keep the fines coming. I'll keep making it rain. Sophie Cunningham turned a $500 punishment into the most iconic branding move the WNBA has ever seen. She wore a shirt, she took a stand, and she exposed just how out of touch the league really is. Now she's more popular than ever, more marketable than ever, and more untouchable than ever. If you're still watching, drop Hot Girls Eat Arby's in the comments. Do you think Sophie went too far, or did she just show the league what real power looks like? Let us know. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because this story, it's just getting started.
That's a PNW win! W's in the chat. W's in the chat. Oh my gosh. That one just aged me, but we're getting better. Shoot, good win.
Sophie Cunningham got body slammed. No whistle, no foul, just silence. And Caitlin Clark, she finally snapped. The Fever's star guard, still sidelined with injury, watched her teammate get thrown to the hardwood with zero accountability. And for the first time in weeks, she couldn't stay silent. She exploded at the refs in front of a packed arena, and the moment went viral in seconds.
He is once again refereeing this game. He watches this happen right in front of him. There's so much contact on the play and he does nothing. He doesn't blow his whistle. He doesn't stop the play. He doesn't call a foul here. And then what happens after that is a direct reaction to the first call not being played.
If you're as sick of the WNBA refs ruining games as Caitlin is, drop a spicy Sophie in the comments right now. Let's show the league that fans are done being quiet. But this wasn't just about one missed call. What happened in Indiana's win over the Seattle Storm exposed the ugly truth fans have been screaming about all season long.
Breaking down everything that has happened with the WNBA referees, because we have another game and we have another situation where WNBA referees fail to make the right calls against Caitlin Clark and the Fever. But then people want to get mad when Sophie Cunningham pretty much did what she did. If the referees ain't going to do it, somebody got to do something, right?
And now, the entire league is under fire. It all started late in the Fever versus Storm game. Sophie Cunningham grabbed a defensive rebound and began to secure the ball when a Seattle player came flying in like it was Sunday Night Football, bodying Sophie straight to the floor.
It's going to be a jump. Now here it looked like a jump. There, this looks like a foul to me.
Yeah.
No call. The ref was right there, front row seat, didn't even blink. It was a blatant hit, a dangerous one. And yet, play continued like nothing happened. That's when Caitlin Clark, 7 games deep into a groin injury, stood up from the bench and screamed, "You were right in front of her."
Indiana, and you can see Caitlin saying, "You were right in front of her. What made you?"
Her voice echoed through the arena. The frustration wasn't just about Sophie, it was about everything. The dirty hits, the inconsistency, the complete lack of protection for the league's most watched players. The truth is, this kind of stuff is happening everywhere. Becky Hammond's been melting down publicly.
They were delaying the game. They were trying to look on the replay to see if they should challenge it, and they were delaying the game, and it's not right. I was trying to get them, the officials, to pass my player the ball so they could shoot their free throw. And while they're doing a long substitution and jabbing in and out of the, you can go look at it. Kelly, tell me how many seconds burnt off while they were deciding as a team whether to challenge the call. That's what I was upset about. That's what I voiced to them. It's not managing the game well. And so that's what I was letting them hear.
Kelsey Plum showed up to a post-game press conference covered in scratches, furious over only getting 6 free throws.
And I'm going to get fined for saying this, but I drive more than anyone in the league. So to shoot 6 free throws is absurd. And I got scratches on my face, I got scratches on my body, and these guards on the other team get these ticky-tack fouls, and I'm sick of it. I get fouled like that every possession, Ricky, but they're fouling this out of me every single play. So I'm very frustrated with that, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I don't know what I need to do. I talk to the refs nice. I pray before the game. I'm over it.
And while players get tossed to the floor without a call, the WNBA had no problem fining Sophie $500 for making a TikTok joking about refs.
And Sophie Cunningham gets fined $500, $500 by Kathy Angle Braindead and the WNBA for speaking out against officiating on TikTok.
The message: you can assault someone on the court and they'll look away, but mock the refs online. Now it's serious. Even WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelberg added fuel to the fire, claiming only losing teams complain about officiating. Seriously, maybe someone should tell her that when your biggest star is getting beat up every night, it's not about wins or losses. It's about safety, integrity, and the very future of the league. But while the refs stayed silent, Sophie let her game do the talking.
Sophie Cunningham. Sophie the Trophy Cunningham. What 4 for 5 from 3. 5 for 6 from the field. The only player on the Indiana Fever to make her threes tonight. The Indiana Fever were 4 of 21 from downtown. And Sophie Cunningham hit all 4 of those threes. 17 points, And the difference between this and the Lynx game, which was Sophie Cunningham's last really good breakout game, this wasn't late. This was, oh, we're struggling offensively. Somebody needs to come through, and Sophie Cunningham came through for us, right? This wasn't the game was already put out. This was, we need somebody to put the ball in the bucket. Sophie Cunningham gets ignored for the first 5 minutes of the game. Boom, backdoor pass, layup here. To the wing, three-point shot here. To the wing, three-point shot there. And the threes that Sophie Cunningham made, she had one wide open three. On a fast break, Kelsey Mitchell gives it to her. Sophie comes down, pull up three, bang. All the other three-point shots, Sophie Cunningham had a hand in her face. A hand in her face, and she hit the shot. 17 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a +2. Sophie Cunningham was also a positive on the defensive end. Sophie Cunningham had herself a game tonight.
She dropped 17 points on 5 of 6 shooting, going 4 for 5 from deep. And get this, she was the only Fever player to make a single three all game. The rest of the team went 0 for 17 from downtown. Sophie hit all 4. Fans are calling her the Blonde Bomber, and it's not hard to see why. Since backing up Caitlin during that Connecticut brawl weeks ago, Sophie's confidence has exploded. She's gained over 800,000 new followers, her jersey sales are surging, and she's quickly becoming the most clutch player on the team. Forget enforcer, Sophie Cunningham is now the engine. Still, no Fever win would be complete without a near disaster. They had a 12-point lead in the 4th quarter, and in classic fashion, they nearly blew it.
About they work it, right block in the rookie. Malonga scores off the window. Top now, Wheeler wide open, left wing three, got it. But it's a steal from Tiggins. Oh, Skylar does and one. Tiggins stopping her feet around the left elbow. An emotional bucket for her.
Kelsey Mitchell had a nightmare game, going 3 for 16 from the field and 0 for 8 from deep. Watching her shoot was like watching someone try to play piano with oven mitts. But thankfully, other stars stepped up. Aaliyah Boston delivered another dominant double-double, 16 points, 12 rebounds, and a personal 9-point run that saved the game.
Boston scores off the backboard right side. Pick and roll, AB muscles it in.
Natasha Howard quietly added 21 points, playing with the poise and leadership this young team desperately needs when Clark isn't running the show.
5 on the shot clock. McDonald to a cutting Howard. The runner rattles in. McDonald to Howard in stride. What a dime!
Without those two, Indiana would have walked out with a loss. No doubt. Yes, Indiana won. Yes, Sophie dominated, but none of that fixes what's really broken. This isn't just about a bad call. It's about a broken system. Sophie Cunningham being thrown to the ground without a whistle was symbolic, a perfect snapshot of what's rotting at the core of WNBA officiating. Caitlin Clark's outburst wasn't just emotion, it was desperation, anger, exhaustion, and fans felt it. Because this league has a problem where refs can't identify obvious fouls. A problem where players get injured from repeated hits with no consequences. Problem that could destroy everything this season was supposed to be. The WNBA finally has momentum, viewership is up, arenas are full, storylines are sizzling. But if the product on the court feels rigged, if stars are being brutalized without protection, all of that growth can vanish in a heartbeat. Sophie Cunningham is proving she's ready to carry the load while Clark recovers. Aaliyah Boston looks like her dominant self again. Natasha Howard is the rock. But this team cannot keep winning if they're forced to play against 2 opponents every night, the opposing team and the refs. The league needs to fix this now, because if they don't, even the Blonde Bomber won't be able to save them. This season was supposed to be the WNBA's turning point. Instead, it's turning into a cautionary tale about what happens when you let officiating incompetence define your league. So if you're still watching, drop Spicy Sophie in the comments to let the league know we see what's happening. And be sure to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications, because if things keep spiraling like this, you're going to want front row seats. See you in the next one.